How are we doing today, folks? Great. Well, the reason why I got you bill today here is because see this scratch on your bill? I need to send that off and actually let the engineers do their job. They're going to take your kilowatts that you've used in the past year and generated and look at the roof space, roof shading, and everything and determine how many panels and what type of system that we need to generate for your home. So while they're doing that, I'm here to actually speak about Momentum Solar, the company itself, tell you about the product, and tell you how solar really works for your home. So since Momentum was created in 2009, and since then we've actually been able to achieve a few different awards. Right now in the Inc. 5000 magazine, we've actually ranked number 67 on the fastest growing company. Well, that's not just solar companies, that's all companies in general. Not only that, the Solar World magazine has actually ranked us top solar contractor for the last 2 consecutive years. The most impressive award to me, myself as an employee and as a customer, is Forbes magazine actually did an article on our CEO author and gave him the 30 under 30 award. So he's the top 30 CEOs in the country, and he's under 30 years old. It is a little embarrassing of a guy my age to be working for a 29-year-old person. But you want to know something? When I actually signed up for solar and became an employee afterwards, then I sat down and actually spoke to the author about 3 months ago. When I sat down and spoke to him, I thought I was speaking to an 80-year-old guy with 65 years worth of experience. A lot of knowledge came from this person. So he generated this company up to making about $100 million for the first year in revenue. To today, we're actually doing about $32 million a month with 800 installs a month in all 6 states that we're in. So he has generated this company from nothing to a lot bigger than what we can imagine. Scratch that, Dave. So with that, the reason why I speak about him truly is that we have a 25-year warranty on our product, right? Well, me becoming a customer, I want to know how long will the company be there? Will it be there for my 25 years of warranty issues or anything like that? Will it be there to cover for me at all times? Well, when I visited Momentum Solar over in Orlando, I walked into a 17,000 square foot building, 5,000 square foot warehouse or office space with plenty of training facilities. They're actually training their salespeople at the time, their office people, along with their engineers and everything. So what really impressed me is walking through with the district manager is going into the warehouse, 10,000 square foot warehouse with 120 homes worth of solar stock, right? So that means that they're always same day, next day, within 24 hours actually taking care of any issue for you. Because based in Orlando, now we have a facility in Tampa the same way. Now we can actually service our customers even quicker. So also when we look at that, I was walking through the warehouse with the district manager, and I thought honestly this was not a warehouse. This was a fake thing because this warehouse manager was excellent. He has a big OCD problem about cleanliness, right? You can almost eat off anything in that warehouse, off the floor, off the panels, off the shelving, anything. He was amazing for a one guy operating and organizing this warehouse. But really what impressed me was walking out into the back, seeing the false roofs out in the back. They actually have two or three of them out there that our installers actually practice on. Can you imagine having a subcontractor that most of these companies use coming out to your house, hiring a new guy that has no clue how to actually install? They're practicing on your roof. Where are they leaving their mistakes? Right, on your roof, right? So I actually took a picture of our installers actually practicing. What they do is go through a extensive training for 2 weeks and practice on these false roofs out there. So they take these systems off 5 or 10 times a day, practicing all the time. They actually come out for a testing day with management sitting here watching them. Even if they don't harness themselves to the roof, that's a mistake for us. That means a failure. We do not let our installers go to a home if they failed one item. So with that being said, we want our installers to be as perfect as they can, even though there's no one perfect, correct? But the reason why we really want them to be as perfect as possible is because it's more important to you as a homeowner about your roof. These guys are coming to your house and doing work. So 87% of the roofs here in Florida are your shingle styled homes. If I'm not mistaken, when I pulled up, I saw the exact same thing on your roof, correct? Yes. Okay. So with that, What we do is send an installer out to your home prior to your installation. He's going to give you a free roof inspection. He's going to make sure there's no missing shingles, no soft spots in your roof, and everything like that. His main priority, really, to be honest with you, is he's going to go up in your attic, take pictures and measurements of your truss. One reason is we want to build a system in Orlando before we come out to your house, so it only takes us 1 day to install the product, wire it all up, and hook it to your meter all in 1 day and be out of your way. But the other main reason is we use what's called a cleat system with a roof flange. This roof flange is aluminum here. It's actually got a raised section here in the middle that's actually packed full of tar. So we use a 6-inch grommet bolt to drive straight through that tar into the roof flange, into your truss only. So when we lock down into your truss, it actually is, if your roof is actually hurricane proof, so is our panels here. We can actually go up to a 262 miles per hour hailstorm and windstorm on them with this cleat system. So what that eliminates as well is all the leaks that you're going to have in the near future. Some of the companies that come out, they actually do a rail system. They put a rail down, tack screws all through it, and actually over time, in 10 or 12 years, that screw's getting smaller and smaller. That wood around it is actually getting softer and softer. What's happening in 10 or 12 years when you get a nice rainstorm, that water just goes right down inside that screw and causes leaks. Well, this system here, acting just like a shingle, being locked down with the 6-inch grommet bolt, will eliminate that leak for you. And that's why we warranty everything where we mount, even on your roof and underneath, make sure there's no leaks involved. Let's say if anything does happen and we have an issue, well, we send a team out the next day or that night to take care of the problem. We rectify all of our issues immediately. We want to take care of it as fast as possible because we want less headaches for our customers. And also, if you know anybody like around your neighborhood, your family members, your co-workers, if they have different types of roofs, we also install on terracotta concrete style roofs, slate roofs, and concrete roofs, along with the new metal roof as well. We use what's called an S5 and an S10 clamp to actually clamp onto the metal roof. So at that, what I wanted to actually discuss with you now is basically, how well do you know how solar really works, right? Not much? Okay. Well, I want to talk to you about the two systems that's really out there. What you really have is a string centralized inverter system. And that's basically, compared to a microinverter system, it's old technology and new technology, right? So I actually have a picture here to actually explain a little bit more about it. And I'm going to go through details for you. So a string central inverter system, such known as a Sunny Boy or a Solar Edge, what it is basically, have you ever dealt with old Christmas lights that's ran in series? Yeah? Oh yeah, they're a pain, ain't they? Correct. So when one light goes out, they all go out. Just like this system. One panel goes out in the middle here, this whole system is basically out for you until they replace it, which means if it's in a series, they have to replace everything after that and tack on new equipment for you. It's a big headache for our customers. As that system is down, you're paying your solar monthly installment as well as your TECO bill, right? So that's no good for our customers to pay 2 bills in 1 month, especially being a higher price than what you're used to paying now. So not only that, we can avoid shading from trees and everything, but we cannot avoid cloud shading. Well, if a cloud goes over this one panel about 40%, guess what happens to this whole entire system? The whole entire system goes down to 40% as well. So with it being strung in series and this DC current going straight down to this centralized box sitting on the side of your home, sitting there humming every day, right? You might not hear it inside, but you will hear it outside all the time when you're walking around it. So this current right here is all DC, which is the strongest current here in the US. If you ever actually thought about grabbing a hold of an electric fence or anything like that, if you ever done that in life, what happens, DC current grabs you and holds you to it. So you basically have to either be knocked off or that has to be cut off before you can let go. So it's bad news and most school boards here in the country has banned this system to be on any type of schools. The reason why is a fire issue, fire case, right? So this generates about electricity, and it actually could get up to about 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit inside that insulation. Why it's generating that power for you? What if there's a weak spot on the insulation or it gets cut somehow? Well, this is sitting on top of your roof. You're sleeping under it. That can cause an instant fire at night, during the day, anything that's generating the electricity going through these panels. The reason why I say at night as well, because I had a customer call me about 2 weeks ago, told me that her panels was being generalized by the bright moon that we had on the new moon last month. So they were generating electricity through it. So the worst case to me is you have neighborhood kids, you have dogs and stuff like that, these cats. This is a big metal box sitting on the side of your house. Kids and everything like to play and climb on things, right? Well, if that thing malfunctioned, that thing could generate and be electrified as well. So when they're actually grabbing a hold of that box to climb on it, they can actually get electrocuted as well. Hopefully nobody ever happens to do that. Not only that, we got a 10-year warranty on these products, and you have to replace that within 2 times of our warranty that we have as 25 years I mentioned earlier. So we stopped selling this system over 3 years ago because it's bad news for any homeowner, really. So when we look at the new microinverter system, how can you actually want this on your home with it generating and being able to be a fire issue when microinverters actually correct all that? So what you're going to see is, I'm going to show you a picture of my install here. That is a microinverter. That is actually about double size of my cell phone sitting there. So what happens is we put this on every panel for you. It generates DC current to AC current right away. So you don't have that DC current hitting your roof or wires or anything like that going down to your meter. So what happens is it allows us to run it in parallel, works independently each panel. So with that, if a shade gets on this one panel, all these are still working 100% for you because of the sunlight and everything. If this panel goes down, this whole system are still working besides that panel. We also will monitor it as well as send an alert to us letting us know exactly what panel is malfunctioning or going out on you. We will be here that day or the next day to actually service that panel for you under your warranty. So we don't want you actually paying them TECO bills or them little extra $5, $10 TECO bills every month. So we want to make sure you're only paying your solar bill and we're actually charging you. Sorry, Dave, that's wrong. Creating that power for you so you can maximize the benefits of the AC microinverters, right? So what we do is, here's the other installment here, which is the 2 boxes that we install for you. This is what's called a combiner box. Right here on that white box, yes. So that's basically simplified for you as a Wi-Fi box. You can go online, when you log in, create your own account, watch the production of these panels, creating the kilowatts that you need and everything, and sending it to you and back to TECO's grid. Remember, TECO is going to be your backup now, because the state mandates them to be your backup, because we're going to generate more electricity for you during the day than what you consume. So along with that, you're going to be able to watch all that all the time on a monthly, weekly, bi-weekly basis. On a daily basis, you can actually log in and see these panels producing. Not only that, we add the safety switch disconnect. Not many companies do both of these at all. So I've seen some companies actually put what's called a pull-out disconnect. It's a little 60 amp pull-out disconnect and you have to go out there and do it yourself. Well, the reason why we put this disconnect in there, let's say you have causable fire or something that a fire department has to come out and cut your electricity off, right? Well, they will pull the meter, but your panels are still generating during that time. So they need to cut off all electricity sources. So we put this inexpensive box on your home so they can just pull the knife switch, right? It cuts off all the power. The firemen are safe, everything else is safe. They can squirt water and take care of your home immediately and quick.